What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and stimulus news report for Wednesday, December 2nd. Now, we have a lot to talk about today regarding stimulus. We're going to get into all of that, and I'm going to really dive into the details of what is going on. But first, I want you to understand just how misguided the House and Nancy Pelosi is right now. And I want to do this before I get into the news surrounding the most recent stimulus proposal. So first, while millions of Americans are going hungry, millions of Americans are on the verge of losing their home, don't have jobs to go to, and have been patiently waiting for stimulus for well over 7 months, what is going on today? Later on today, the House is going to hold a vote to federally legalize marijuana and ban breeding and private ownership of big cats. Yes, you heard that correct. This is true. With only there's 8 working days left, counting today, for the House, and then they are going to go back on break. They will adjourn on December 11th for the rest of the year. But today, they're going to vote on a marijuana bill and owning big cats. Now, they're not going to vote on a stimulus package. They're not fighting for stimulus. They're not even thinking about standalone bills. They're just going to vote on marijuana and big cats. Here's what House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy had to say about this. Now, he is a Republican. He said, this is from Twitter, "This week, your House Democrat majority is tackling the tough issues by holding a vote on legalizing pot and banning tiger ownership. Nothing for small businesses, nothing for reopening schools, nothing for battling the pandemic. Just cannabis and cats." Well, that pretty much sums up 2020 for all of us. Now, on the other side, we have Mitch McConnell, who has been holding up stimulus negotiations for months, trying to say, let's just wait and see, let's pause, or trying to pass a skinny bill that would do very little to help the economy and the American people. However, based on reports earlier this morning, Mitch McConnell has a plan. You probably wonder, what is this plan? What's going on? What's he doing? Because right now, nobody knows, right? Well, in just a minute, I'm going to go over exactly what Mitch McConnell's plan is regarding the stimulus package that he is proposing or is thinking about proposing very soon. And this is according to a leaked draft obtained by CNN. This was actually obtained yesterday, and so I want to break this down. But first, what is Mitch McConnell's strategy behind the proposal? Because yesterday, nobody knew. Why is he providing no stimulus checks? Why is unemployment not really being addressed? What's the plan behind this? Well, now we know. The reports indicate that President Trump is highly considering running for president again in 2024. And he doesn't want a large stimulus package done under his administration. He wants Joe Biden to own that himself. So, right now, what it's looking like is, yes, President Trump wants stimulus checks. He wants more unemployment benefits, PPP funding, rental assistance, food assistance. He wants everybody to have everything. The problem is, for President Trump, he's looking at it as, okay, if I sign off on this, we're already in December. So by the time we negotiate, I sign off on it, it's going to be at least the middle to end of December, possibly even January. So by that time, once stimulus checks go out, unemployment benefits start rolling out, PPP funding is being issued, what's happening is Joe Biden will already be in office. So President Trump is pretty much giving Joe Biden a blank check saying, okay, I authorize this, it can go on my administration, and you can benefit from it. And that's not what he wants. So it is because of this that the proposal that Mitch McConnell is proposing is just a kick the can down the road type of proposal. And you can see exactly what I mean by this. So let me explain the main points of this proposal and you'll see exactly what I mean. The proposal that Mitch McConnell will be proposing. It hasn't been proposed yet. It's a leaked report. This is a leaked draft that CNN obtained yesterday. This wasn't supposed to go out to the media. It wasn't supposed to go out to Democrats just yet. It was supposed to go to different Senate Republicans' offices so that they can review it, they can provide feedback, and then they could go and actually submit a finalized proposal. Well, this proposal that we got the draft of, the leak, this is estimated between anywhere from $600 to about $750 billion. And this actually, okay, the way this actually works is they aren't adding much money because there's already like 580 some thousand or 80 some billion dollars in an account right now. There's like 500 and some billion from the Federal Reserve. There's also $140 billion or 130 some billion dollars from the PPP funding. So this $600 to $750 billion proposal, it's actually like between like a $20 billion to $170 billion proposal in new appropriations. So not much. But here's how it breaks down. There's roughly $332.7 billion for PPP funding, worker protection expenditures, and grants for shuttered venues. There's 1 month extension of pandemic unemployment assistance, that's the PUA, and there's also the PEUC, the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Programs. Now, there's a 1 month extension to both of those programs. They expire on December 31st. Well, by kicking the can down the road 1 month, we're essentially, it's actually, I believe it's like 4 weeks is the 1 month, but what it actually turns out to be is it goes from, I think, December 26th, the day after Christmas, until I believe January 21st or something like that. That's kind of the breakdown of it, but that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're at right now. And this is what I mean by the kick the can down the road type of proposal is let's just push it back a month. Let's push it back, and then Joe Biden, he can take over from there. There is also going to be 13 more weeks of unemployment insurance. They're going to add this on top of it. Okay, so this kind of benefits people if they already ran out of their unemployment insurance. This will kick in an extra 13 weeks. However, there is no boost. There's no boost here. There's no additional $300 per week. There's no additional $600 per week. And did you hear me say retroactive? Because that's not in here. There's no retroactive payments here. It's just what will come up. That's it. There's also $105 billion for schools. There's $16 billion for testing, tracing, and surveillance. $31 billion for vaccines. $10 billion for the Postal Service. $500 million for all manners of fishers. And $5 billion for childcare. That's what's in it. And Mitch McConnell said hours before this proposal was leaked that President Trump has already said that he would sign off on this bill. However, Democrats are already saying that this proposal does not meet the needs of the American people and they would not support it. A proposal that's under $1 trillion, Nancy Pelosi would never go for. So, right now, it's kind of up in the air what's going to happen. But we're kind of just waiting on what Nancy Pelosi's proposal, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, what their proposal actually looks like. I'm optimistic it will be under $2 trillion. And I say optimistic not because I want a smaller stimulus package, but I want something that can be agreed upon. Anything over $2 trillion won't be agreed upon. If it's under $2 trillion and over 1.5, it has some possibilities of negotiations from there. It's a good starting point, but I think it has to get under 1.5. My guess, and based on what experts are saying, it needs to get anywhere from 1.2 to 1.5 to actually have a chance of being passed. So we'll see. Now, with that said, do I think Nancy Pelosi will accept this stimulus package just the way it sits? No. Okay, I just want to be 100% clear. No, I don't think Nancy Pelosi, actually, I'm 100% sure there's no way in the world Nancy Pelosi accepts a stimulus package under $1 trillion. 1.2, she wouldn't accept it. She'd negotiate and try to get it up a little bit, maybe get to 1.5, 1.6. Mitch McConnell would negotiate, bring it back down. It would probably end somewhere around 1.2 to 1.5. Most people say 1.4 is going to be the magic number. But again, who knows if we ever get there. So this means we will have to continue to wait on Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's big reveal whenever this is. Chuck Schumer told us yesterday this is a private proposal that they offered Mitch McConnell, and until they hear back from him, they won't reveal what's in the package. So we just have to wait, because as of right now, if Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer sent an email to Mitch McConnell, okay, if they sent a letter to Mitch McConnell and to his office, my guess is we will not see a leaked report of this proposal, just because Mitch McConnell is not that careless with the stuff that he receives. He's probably not just going to leave it out for anybody to look at. So because of that, it's just a guessing game as to what is going to be in it. But like I said, my hope is that it's near $1.5 trillion, because based on what experts are saying, that would show a seriousness for negotiations at this time. And that is what we need. Mitch McConnell did state yesterday, and I quote, "We just don't have time to waste time." Yet, this proposal is considered a waste of time among Democrats. They're saying this will never fly. This will never get support. Why would you propose it? Why would you spend the time and waste the time to create this when you know it will not get passed? In addition to proposing this bill, Mitch McConnell stated that he wants to combine the stimulus package that he's going to propose, okay, the one that I just told you with no stimulus checks, only 1 month of unemployment benefits, no rental assistance, no food assistance, no state and local government funding. He wants to attach this to the government funding bill that expires on December 11th. Well, there's not a whole lot of good news, but the good news is that we still have hopes from one proposal. Yesterday, we got word of 3 proposals. One, that was $908 billion. The second one is Mitch McConnell's proposal, which we just went over. The third one is the proposal from Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer that nobody knows what is currently in it. Hopefully today, if not tomorrow, we find out exactly what is in this proposal. Now, here's another good thing. Steve Mnuchin told Nancy Pelosi that he would review their proposal that was put forward by them, and he will get back to her. As far as when he gets back to her, my guess is if he told her that yesterday, he will most likely he already talked to Mitch McConnell and maybe Mark Meadows, or he's going to talk to Mitch McConnell and Mark Meadows sometime today, and then he will get back to Nancy Pelosi hopefully later on this afternoon. That's my hope, because Steve Mnuchin is very good at actually returning someone's phone call, getting back to somebody when he says. If he told Nancy Pelosi, "I'm going to review your proposal and I'll get back to you," that means he will get back to her. Whether it's with good news saying, yes, Republicans agree to your exact proposal or not. Again, we don't know that, but what I can tell you is hopefully we get answers today, if not tomorrow. After the phone call between Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin, Nancy Pelosi said additional COVID relief is long overdue and must be passed in this lame duck session. She hopefully, her proposal is that she's going to put forward is taking both sides into consideration. Because as of right now, both sides are so far apart. Nancy Pelosi and Democrats are at $2.4 trillion. Mitch McConnell and Republicans are right now about 600 to 750 billion. Okay? So they're technically about 1.5 trillion dollars apart. That's a lot. So the goal right now amongst Congress seems to just be, let's get through the lame duck session. Let's get to January 20th, and then we can work on an additional package. That seems to be the sentiment amongst everybody. Joe Biden said this. Nancy Pelosi said this. Mitch McConnell has said this as well. Is okay. And he said this in his press conference yesterday. He stated, let's get this proposal passed now, and then in January, most likely the end of January, we can work on another proposal based on who really needs help, what parts of the economy are struggling the most. Those are his words. Not exactly, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but those are his words. That's what Mitch McConnell is saying. So he knows that, yes, Joe Biden will come in. And again, this is exactly what Mitch McConnell said in his press conference yesterday. He said that we will have to wait and see what the new administration wants to do after they're sworn in on January 20th. So he knows it's going to be up to Joe Biden what he wants to do and what he's willing to sign off on. But right now, what we have in front of us is reported what President Trump is willing to sign off on. So right now, this is all we have to work with. Like I said, even Joe Biden had a similar sentiment. And he said, any package passed in the lame duck session is, at best, just a start. Which means, even if we see a stimulus package today, next week, sometime in January, in the early part of January, and President Trump is still in office, there will be another stimulus package sometime in 2021. It would most likely be in February or March. That is what we know right now. Joe Biden also stated that he is getting ready to do a dozen or more executive orders during the first month in office, which all reports are indicating that it would include a broad economic recovery plan that would not require Congress's approval. What's included? I can only guess. It would most likely have some type of unemployment benefit. It will most likely have some type of student loan deferral program again. There's other things as well. Some rental assistance wouldn't be in there, but an eviction moratorium could be in there as well. And this is something that is missing from Mitch McConnell's proposal. There's no rental assistance. There's no eviction moratorium. There's nothing like that, which makes it very hard to look at and think, okay, is this guy serious? Is he serious now? This is really what he wants to pass. He thinks the Democrats are going to support this. How could even all Republicans support this package when they know what's going to happen? So right now, the American people just want to see stimulus checks. And there's so many polls out there right now asking people what do they want to see in a stimulus package. And most of these polls say the exact same thing. Stimulus checks, PPP funding, additional unemployment plus a boost, rental assistance, and food assistance. Those are the things that they want. That handful of items. It wouldn't be that hard to get the American people those things if both our leaders, Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, came together and really provided a package for the American people. But as of right now, it seems like all anyone cares about is let's get through this lame duck session. Let's see what happens in Georgia. Because right now, all eyes are on Georgia. What's happening? Who's going to win? Will we see at least one Republican win? If one Republican wins, then the Senate is controlled by Republicans in January. If both seats go Democrat, then Democrats hold the majority. So things could really change here. Well, we do have some good news though. Okay, I just want to bring this to you. At least one city, and that is Houston. Houston is doing something right. Houston has decided they are going to issue $1,200 stimulus checks to anybody that is struggling due to the pandemic, and they're going to provide these $1,200 stimulus checks to 23,750 Houstonians. That means if you live in Houston, you could potentially get a $1,200 stimulus check very soon. This looks like something you will have to apply for. It will most likely be a first come, first serve. There's only 23,750 $1,200 stimulus checks available. So as soon as this becomes available, as soon as we get some more information about this, I will let you know. So if you do live in Houston or you know somebody that does, you can get this check as soon as possible. So right now, that's what we know. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. And what I want to tell you is things are not going to get any better until after we see some type of stimulus from Congress. So I just want to thank you guys for watching today's video. If you have any questions regarding stimulus or how you can make money from the comfort of your own home, please ask me down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. Share this video with your friends and family over on Facebook as well, and I'll see you guys on the next one.